you will find around the state, if not the region and the country. Our Director of Manufacturing, John Letourneau, will be wrapping this thing up a little bit later. Welcome. My name is Pete Turok. I am president of the Anoka Area Chamber of Commerce, and when we first started to set this up, I was hoping, all right, will we get 50 people to come? Will we get 75 and this back goal of 100? And we're trending toward 170 this morning. So it's wonderful to see you all. Trust me, it is wonderful to see you all, and thank you for coming. I want to thank our luncheon sponsors, First Bank Elk River and also Iceberg Web Design. You'll see the fancy schmancy sponsor signs that I created and put on the tables because, you know, for $500 a guy's got to get something. And so they are to be thanked for being our luncheon sponsors this morning. We also have definitely applaudable. Give correct pause, Turok. Give pause. All right, we have table sponsors. These people bought tables and helped our numbers and brought people here. I want to quickly tell you who they are. We got the City of Andover, the City of Anoka, the City of Champlin, the City of Coon Rapids, the City of Ramsey, First Bank Elk River, Mate Precision Technologies, and Mercy Hospital, Allina Health. I want to thank our table sponsors this morning. We were going to have a presentation from MnDOT on the Highway 10 project. They are not able to be here, but there is information back on our registration table. So when you leave, if you didn't grab something when you came in, there's a big open house that is coming up on March 9th at Greenhaven Golf Course. It's from 5:30 to 7:30. You can find information there. They also have these cards. These cards are the go-to for questions that anybody has as this project goes on. It's got the website information. I've been in contact with the group that's handling that. It's going to be interesting, let's just say, for the next 4 years. Because 2 years in Anoka, and then right smack dab after that, Ramsey's will begin. A guy could be a glass half empty guy on that. I am a guy whose glass is absolutely full on this. We are finally getting that project done. I am an old Anoka kid. Highway 10 has not changed since the early 60s. Everything around it's changed, but the road has not changed. Our manufacturing cohort, and John will attest to this because I use this story all the time. I happened over here at one of the cohort meetings where they were talking and they were going, yeah, 10 to 2, 10 to 2, we do the same thing. And I had to peek my head in and go, what are you talking about? There are a ton of those manufacturers that will only interview potential employees between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. because they've lost employees who've been there either too early and seen the traffic or were there too late and saw the traffic. Now that is one I shared with Senator Klobuchar when there was a push to get some federal funds, and she said, now that's a type of story that could maybe get something done. How pathetic is it that you have to figure out when you're going to interview potential employees because of the traffic? So I am pumped. Hey, I survived the Champlin Bridge getting changed out, and I live in Champlin, and I love that city, but let me tell you something. Orange was not my friend for a little while, but guess what? We get through it. The real answer to all that is happening on Highway 10 is it's short-term pain for long-term gain. And think about what's going to happen when that road's done. If you have not been to the City of Anoka website or Ramsey's website and seen what these projects are going to look like, go and check them out. Excuse me. It is going to be phenomenal. And when it's done, you watch the spurt that is going to pop. It opens up everything. So I'm pumped. So if you want information, you want to go to an open house, information is back on our registration table as you're leaving. Know that I've been in conversation with MnDOT. They are going to be on the Chamber Cable Show. If they want to be every month, they can. There's going to be stuff on our Monday morning emails. There's going to be stuff in the newsletter constantly as we work through this project. But I am pumped, and I know that Brian West, City Council member for Anoka, is going to jump into that project a little bit, and I don't want to steal too much thunder from him. But just know they wanted to be here, and it just didn't work out, and they could not. Anoka County SHIP is a brand new member of the Chamber, and Cole Hansen, who is the SHIP health educator, was not able to be here. Wanted me to make a quick comment about what they've got going, so I said I would. Have you considered how to keep your employees engaged without breaking the bank? Have you wanted to boost your company's wellness offerings but don't want to bring on paid consultants to get it started? Anoka County SHIP is offering free website wellness support to all Anoka County businesses and organizations. If you want to find out more about that stuff, get a hold of me. I'll get you Cole's information. We'll go from there. Lastly, before we get going, I want to mention that we have a major fundraiser coming up on the 25th of February. People are sick of me talking about the gala. People, we're getting close. So we're almost done. So the 34th Annual Anoka Area Chamber of Commerce Gala Dinner Fundraiser is going to be on Friday, February 25th at the Courtyards of Andover. Tickets are selling well, but they are available. All the event sponsorships have sold out. But if you want to attend, and I'll put my money where my mouth is. If you come and you or who you come with does not like the event, I will pay you back. It is a great event. It's a fundraising event. And I mentioned this earlier to somebody. What you want is the person who's on the microphone wanting to leave that event worse than you do. And so it's me, and we keep it going. Anybody who's ever been there, I mean, raise your hand if what I'm talking about is right. If you've been to the gala, we move it. We have fun, and yeah, if you got a $20 bill in your pocket, I'm going for it. Doesn't mean you got to give it to me, but I'm going to try. But we keep it going. It's a fundraiser. It's one or two we do if you can attend. We'd love to have you there. Know that if you can't, obviously we're taking donations for the silent auction and live auction. Our live auction goes live this Friday. So even if you can't attend, we've got cool stuff that you have to have. And all you have to do, we go through ClickBid, everything is secure, and you could get some great, great offerings. And I'll be sending out an email to everybody with the link. Trust me, more bids mean more money. Okay, enough fundraising. Let's get into why we're here. It's to find out what's happening in the area. We always kick off with our host city. We are in the city of Coon Rapids, and the Honorable Mayor Jerry Cook is going to lead us off. Sorry, Jerry, real quick. So Tammy, raise your hand. Tammy is a Coon Rapids business. She doesn't want to show you red. So she is with Lexica Communications, but she's very important today. She is our timer, because Jerry would go on for a half hour, and why wouldn't he? Because there's a lot happening in Coon Rapids. So Tammy is going to show a 1 minute left, a 30-second left, and then she's going to hold up a solid red piece of paper. And that means we are done. So, and Jerry knows it. He's got this down to a science. But just know when you see somebody doing that, she's very important to us getting out of here at 1 o'clock. Jerry, you're up.
Thank you, Pete. Welcome to Coon Rapids, and just thank you for all being here at our wonderful Bunker Hills Event Center. Make sure you try out Kendall's next door. I want to first start out by saying I am happy to be the mayor of the city of Coon Rapids, and I want to welcome our police chief, Brad Wise, Councilmember Pat Carlson, City Manager Matt Stemwedel, and from our Community Development Department, Matt Brown. So just wanted to acknowledge who makes us great here. Let's see here. All right, got it. So we are excited to see new retail and renovations in Coon Rapids, Riverdale. I don't know if Ryan, I don't think Ryan made it here today, is he? Ryan, are you here? Thank you. Riverdale is our largest shopping area in town. And since it's been in here, it's always been, we don't know what's going on up there. Center Court bought it a year and a half ago, and since they've purchased it, we know what's going on. Ryan Burke is involved. He's here today. I see him regularly. We know what's happening up there. There's new ownership up there. They're very focused on bringing in new tenants. Schneiderman's Furniture is moving into the former Sears space, and the construction continues at the former J.C. Penney, which will be a fresh space for multiple new tenants. That's all we can go for. We think it's going to be a grocery and a fresh new thing that'll, enhance Amazon somehow. So, all right. Across the street is a new business at a ribbon cutting. Famous Dave's Quick Q reopened in their old location that they tore all down and started over, right near Menards and Costco. And the new cafeteria style has been a big draw, and it's one of the first quick queues in the nation. Oh, I thought I wasn't touching anything, was I? All right. Down on Coon Rapids Boulevard, we have our new Caribou Coffee Cabin right at Egret and Coon Rapids Boulevard. We have a Fresenius dialysis, which is a new medical building at Springbrook Drive and Holly Street, right down by the Coon Rapids Alina Clinic. We have a brand new Walzer dealership that will be built along Highway 10 next to the Rapids Honda. And also Omnetics, Banfield Pet Hospital, and then, and I like how they just tag it on in the end, and Total Wine and More will be opening in Coon Rapids. Thanks, Jerry Thiessen, for helping us out with that. We have a new, when 610 first opened in Coon Rapids, you could only go west. And when they opened up the new 610 going to St. Paul or going east, you could still only go west. You could only go west and get off coming from the west. So we're working with MnDOT, pursuing federal funding, trying to get a full exchange at East River Road. And if you think that just looks like a squiggle, that's about the best thing we've figured out, how to minimize taking houses and getting something in. We still have to wait for MnDOT to approve that little loop-de-loo there. But that would give us full access. The interchange is not fully funded, and we will pursue federal funding options this spring. Coon Rapids has had a big year for sustainability of advancements. We hired a new sustainability planner at the beginning of 2021, and her focus is advancing sustainability initiatives citywide. And we have done this in two significant ways. First, we were named a Soul Smart Silver City. There are about 424 communities in 41 states that have some sort of a Soul Smart designation. They go bronze, silver, gold. And we updated our city ordinance to make the permit process for solar quicker, easier, and cheaper. One of the first ones in, a great example, is RMS, which is our largest private employer in Coon Rapids, and they are our city's largest energy user. They installed a new solar array on top of their warehouse. It's one of the newest and largest installations in the city, and RMS says the city will save enough energy to pay for itself within 5 years or less. Throughout the city, we've got about 50 solar installations at homes and businesses. Another sustainability advancement was moving to Step 3 in our Green Step City. In fact, the city took more than 95 sustainable actions to earn the designation. One example, two new electric vehicle charging stations, and also rolling over to LED streetlights, improved trails, and expanded recycling services. In 2021, we received the results of the 2020 census, as did all of you. Of course, it shows growth and diversity, and we were pleased to have a high self-response rate of 85.1%, which is above state and national averages. And 27% of our residents identify as Black, Indigenous, or persons of color. We're reflecting a similar trend throughout the metro. And through MAC, another way we embrace our diversity is through a new multicultural advisory committee that is organized by our police department. And it's just this very diverse group of folks that come in and give the police department feedback on whatever's going on. And I've been to a couple of their meetings, and it's pretty remarkable. The police partnership with residents and community organizations builds better understanding and empathy among diverse groups of citizens. And one of the most interesting nights to be there, I think, was the shoot or no shoot exercise that really was eye-opening for all of those folks. It's no surprise Coon Rapids is growing. Our population is now more than 63,000, with approximately 24,000 households recorded. And that housing number will continue to expand as for one example, Port Riverwalk grows. Coon Rapids-based Centra Homes continues construction at Port Riverwalk, which began at 2020. It's the old Coon Rapids Shopping Center. In total, there will be 136 one-level and two-level detached townhomes down there. And it's a very nice project, and they're selling them as fast as they can put them up. Down at the same area, we've had lots of progress on the Port Riverwalk infrastructure. Tried to combine those two words. The city and Anoka County led construction of new public infrastructure throughout the site, new utilities, sidewalks and trails, lighting, new lane configurations, asphalt, replaced all the asphalt down there, curbs and gutters, and it is in the running for a 2022 Minnesota Brownfields Rescape Award. In that same area, we remain hopeful for a new pedestrian bridge in the area. Governor Walz has included the bridge in his 2022 bonding proposal, and the bridge over Coon Rapids Boulevard would connect Coon Creek Trail to the north and south. And we did receive a regional solicitation grant for a large portion of the funding, but about $1.5 million is still unfunded. We also have new apartments over at the Riverdale Station. This is the apartment complex right behind Target, just kind of to the, losing the directions, right behind Target. How's that? Off of Northdale Boulevard. They just entered phase 3. Construction began on 192 new market rate apartments. And next up is phase 4, which is an 81-unit affordable senior housing complex. This has been very popular. Our curb appeal program, Front Door, it awarded 79 grants in 2021. Nearly 300 applicants have been entered, and the program has garnered $1.4 million in increased curb appeal last year alone. It's just a way to challenge people to make their homes look better from the street, and it ripples out to the homes around them, and it's just been a great project through the city. Here's an example from 2021. You can see the before and after, and it's just a real freshening up. We're down to the last page. I think we're good. Also, we still continue to offer our Home for Generations 2 program, which encourages greater than $35,000 remodeling projects. And this is a couple that was involved last year, Jean Marie and Beatrice. They've lived in Coon Rapids for 20 years. This was their first major home remodel project. They gutted the kitchen, installed new flooring, replaced the front entry door, and updated the driveway and landscaping. And they are thrilled, and so are their neighbors. And the Home for Generations continues to successfully encourage large private investment, great ways to revitalize our aging housing stock. And throughout the life of this program, since 2013, we have garnered more than $14 million worth of investment. We wrapped up our new 2021 with a new community event. I'm a big fan of R&D, rip off and duplicate. Anoka has done this very well. So Coon Rapids, we had our first tree lighting this year, and I've got the red sign. I think you started the timer when I was still doing the introduction, though. So we got 1 minute left, Pete. All right. It was a great program. We had a few hundred in attendance, and it was just like right out of a Hallmark movie. It was just all the fire pits. It was a great event. And then looking ahead, our next really large expenses, we have a new fire station on deck. This will be the new Fire Station 3 at Mississippi Boulevard and 111th, which is right across the street from the community college, featuring apparatus-based administrative offices, a training room, lots of storage, and a control room and hose tower on the 3rd floor. And the one thing remarkable about this is Coon Rapids has this huge fireworks celebration every year, and they're going to build this right where we launch from. And it was just stopped us in our tracks. I'm going, oh, come on. It took us so long to find a place to blow those fireworks. What are we going to do? And Chief John Piper looked at me and he smiled and he said, we're going to blow them off the roof. So they're building this with a hardened roof, and our fireworks will go right off the roof of that. Thank you for being here today.
Mr. Mayor, thank you. Up next, it's Andover. On deck is Anoka for Andover. Let me introduce Community Development Director Joe Janik.
Thank you. We continue forward in 2022 with our council members. There's been no change, and they really make the decisions that I'll highlight here as part of the presentation for individuals to take a look at. Andover continues to grow. Within our 2040 comprehensive plan, we're looking at a population of nearly 40,000 individuals. Our family housing continues in a strong market. There was 140 new homes in 2021. It's about the 5th year that we've been over 100 homes. This picture here is one of the detached townhome developments that were completed in 2021. We did have another detached townhome development that came forward essentially in 2021. It went from concept to homes being built within the same time frame. And it's a capstone project at the intersection of 7th Avenue and Bunker Lake Boulevard. We had 2 other housing developments with 20 to 22 homes in each of them. Those also came forward at the beginning of 2021, and they had construction completed within 2021. So we're moving our projects forward as quickly as we can, working with the developers and the community in order to get these projects in the ground. Meadows at Peterson Farms, this is an acreage lot development that's occurring on the north end of the city of Andover. It's this is the second phase, and there was 48 home sites that were built or created as part of this, and they are starting to have some preliminary discussions about potentially a 3rd phase for this year. They're seeing some strong demand for the rural sites. Again, this would be private water and also private septic. It's outside of our MUSA. That's the key. New businesses. Our community has seen new businesses move into our borders. One of the things to comment is the majority of them are taking some spaces that previous businesses were at. Unfortunately, with the economic environment and some of the COVID restrictions, some of the businesses didn't make it, but we have been lucky where we've been able to refill those spaces relatively quickly. Our growing tax base, our taxable market values are over $3.8 billion within our community. We do have a strong outlook for growth. We have additional land that's available. One of the items that we've been working with is with Lennar, and they are working on some property off of Prairie Road. And what we have here is about 387 home sites. It'd be a mixture of their single family and then some of their villa-style products. At this point in time, they do have a final plat submitted to start with 66 home sites. And that would be the upper right portion of this. They're looking at starting that. One of the things that's interesting about this is Lennar is actually pulling on the left-hand side. You can see there's actually a railroad track there, and they're pulling the utilities from that location, bringing it under Prairie, and servicing that northeast corner. Some additional potential sites that we have, as I mentioned earlier, we have the area next to Peterson Farms. That's kind of the upper left-hand corner there. The large oval, that's our rural reserve. There's 1,000 acres in that area. About 400 right now are considered upland, but we do have the ability, talking with the watershed, to look at some rate control and some other items to try to increase that potential developable land in that area. And then there's a smaller piece just to the south of that as well. This map does show some of the other developments that we have occurring with home sites available. We have a growing tax base. One of the projects that we've been working on late fall and into this year with the intention of seeing construction this spring. We, again, at the intersection of 7th Avenue and Bunker Lake Boulevard, we have a couple developers working together to develop this piece. The gray areas are potentially 4 sites for commercial buildings. The top yellow is a 150-unit market rate apartment building, which would have indoor and outdoor community spaces, dog park, and also a dog wash. Underground parking there. You can see the photo of what the developer is taking a look at. And then the lower one is a 32-unit assisted living memory care facility that would come on here. Some of the things that we've done for this is we've been working with the city of Anoka as well, related to a signal that would be installed on 7th Avenue. We also worked with CenterPoint Energy to obtain an easement to provide for the access off-site from this development. We continue forward with our redevelopment opportunities off of Bunker Lake Boulevard and Crosstown. Right now the RE/MAX building is there. You can see in yellow, those are the properties that the city's acquired since about 1997. The red ones are the ones that the city has removed from the property, and there's the potential that another building would come down. Something that the city's been doing is, as they've acquired the property, we've really tried to minimize the impacts to the residents that are living there and allow them to continue to live there until they deem they're ready to go and move on to a different location. We continue with our park improvements. We have replacement plans for our park infrastructure, and we continue to replace the equipment as needed. Something that we're doing again this year is approximately 7 miles of mill and overlay within our community. I believe it's about $2.5 to $3 million, and we're looking at trying to continue that process for the next couple of years as well. Our community center and the YMCA expansion is complete. There are several items that were added to the facility, and it's definitely been a draw for our community. One of the things I want to point out is not only did the city add a new gymnasium, but the YMCA also added a wood floor gymnasium as well. The North Suburban Home Show, made up of Andover, Anoka, and Coon Rapids staff, and also the Anoka Area Chamber of Commerce. The last 2 shows have been canceled because of COVID and the restrictions that were in place there. This year, however, we are continuing to move forward, and we are filling up slots for that. One of the things I do want to note is we've actually expanded into that 4th gymnasium that the city of Andover constructed as part of that community center, so we can get a few more vendors in there. We also increased the booth size as well, so we're looking forward to a good turnout. That's on Saturday, March 12th from 8 to 2. Hopefully I can see some of you there. With that, I thank you for your time.
Thank you, Joe. On deck is Ramsey, and up now is Anoka, and doing the presentation is City Council Member Brian West.
Thank you, Peter. The city of Anoka. What a wonderful picture that is. That's not a painting, that's an actual photograph by one of our citizens, Tammy Mild. The city of Anoka's development, in our limited land, we have some ongoing developments with Riverside by David Weekley Homes. That's a phase 1, 5 acres on 4th Avenue, 56 owner-occupied, detached homes. Phase 2 is on its way. You can see these homes are stacked in there pretty good, but they are selling, which is great. Our American Club, which is being built where our former Parks Department building was located at Greenhaven, is a 87 senior cooperative building, and it's about 80% full. You can see the construction that's going on. It's going to have direct access to Greenhaven Golf Course. We had a private development of 8 acres off of Garfield and Highway 47, the Panuski development, occurring this year. They've cleared the property. There's going to be 28 one-level detached townhomes that are going to range anywhere from 350,000 to 400,000 homes. So as we identify these lots and these opportunities, we're doing our development the best that we can. Volunteers of America Phase 3 is underway, and that's over on 4th Avenue. That's senior assisted living, and it's going to be a progressive growth homes. Our public development, which I think everybody is probably wondering about, Highway 10 Anoka project, which Peter alluded to, is about a month away. So buckle up. We had last night at our council meeting discussion about detours that are going to take place, stoplight interaction, and just all-around traffic snarls. But this project, like Peter said, is going to be a 2-year project, but it's going to lead into something that hasn't been done for over 60 years, and that's raise Highway 10, take the lights out, and make it a freeway. You can see this up here. But I really want to point out that this was the brainchild of our city manager, Greg Lee. He and his staff put together an idea that said, look, if we take $2 million and throw this out there, who will bite on it? Anoka County, the state of Minnesota, and the federal government bit on this. And if you are involved any way with traffic on this road, you will know that this improvement has led to improvement that's going to be occurring in Ramsey and ultimately in the city of Elk River. This improvement is going to take out those stoplights, those snarls, and it's going to make traffic through the city of Anoka much easier on Highway 10. and easier for us as a whole. We're going to start back at about 7th Avenue and go up all the way to Thurston, and it's going to be a through fare as we go through. So a great thanks out to our city manager, Greg Lee, for that vision that you had to create a thoroughfare through the city of Anoka. What really makes Anoka hum, though, is what we have to offer, and that's our rivers. In the year 2012, we started out with 6 rental slips. This year, we're adding 12 for a total of 42 rental slips on the Rum River. But here's something that I think is even more important. We have a waiting list of over 31 people that want to dock their boats on the Rum River. And here's something I think is even better than that. We have council members from other communities that are renting from us right now, so thank you for that, council members. The docks of Anoka started in about 1998, and there was a very tight group of people, you might call them cronies, if you will, that actually came together and said, let's create a dock scenario in front of City Hall and create the ability for people to use the river and come enjoy the city of Anoka. And Mayor from Coon Rapids, thank you very much for docking your boat there. We appreciate it. The river is really an asset that we all share. And if you know anything about the Lower Rum River watershed, the water is getting better because all of our communities' developments along that river. Thank you. Anoka said, though, we can't just do the river. We have to expound on our community as a whole. Small people, big trucks over MEA this weekend. Lisa Lacoste from our public services, our police, fire, and electric utility came together and said, let's show the kids what the city utility trucks, police cars, our MRAP are made up of, and let them experience what those vehicles are. The best thing about this, honking horns. The kids loved it. As you know, our Anoka Classic Car Show continues on and on during the summer. It had a little bit of a hiatus with COVID, but now it's going full strength. The county is thinking about expanding in Anoka, but we're not going to let them deter our car show at all. We moved our Anoka Farmers Market down to 2nd and Harrison near the grain bins, and there's great things to come. We took it from 5th Avenue and Main Street and put it to a more agricultural area, and I think the draw was very positive this year. Our outside seating along Jackson Street, 2nd Avenue, and now South 2nd Avenue has been more than popular. And when the pandemic was going, we did some creative thoughts. So we like to work with our community and our business owners that are in the entertainment district. You can spend the last year you were able to spend the winter out there. This year, be able to spend summers out there again. 2 Scoops just signed up last night to put a parklet out in front of their ice cream shop. Anoka River Fest and Craft Fair. Pete, I think we're in about our 23rd, 24th, maybe even 25th year. Thank you, former council member John Weaver. Food Truck Festival is in its 4th year. The first year, Hotter Than Blazes, attracted about 50,000 people. Greenhaven Golf Course is going strong. And even in the winter, it's going strong. With cross-country skiing, daily grooming of the trails. Our simulators, we expected the simulators to be paid for in about 5 years. They're going to be paid for in the 3rd year, this year. Anoka Halloween has always celebrated 100 years during the COVID pandemic. That didn't stop us. We had to make a little altercation. Last year, about 50,000 people lined the parade route. One of the biggest in the history of Anoka. Waterfall for Warriors, a group of community members, along with Federal Cartridge, with Polaris Industries, said, let's reward our warriors, our veterans, with a waterfall hunt because we have the space and the ability to have a waterfall hunt. There's sometimes upwards of 8 of them a year that take place. It's just our way, the city's way of saying thank you to those who have served. We're celebrating 100 years of Federal cartridge this year. Federal has been instrumental, not only in employment and our largest utility user, but also the involvement that they have had with the city of Anoka. Our pool was given to us by Federal cartridge. Our city hall was given to us by Federal cartridge. And the development of our new public safety training facility, the high-tech shooting range equipment, is being partially funded by Federal cartridge. We just celebrated Maine Motors' 100th anniversary, and now this is Federal's 100th anniversary. UTVs. You can get to Anoka in a golf cart or a UTV. So whoever in Ramsey wants to come into town, just get a permit from our police chief. Come on in. Side-by-sides are welcome. We want you to be welcome. Snowmobiling corral, one of my favorite things that have put together in the city of Anoka. If you haven't witnessed it, come on down on a Saturday, Sunday. It's great to see it. But more than that, the Rum River is used in a lot of different ways in the winter. Not only in the summer by boats, but by our snowshoers, our ice fishermen, etc. And the wildlife is exquisite. Mayor, we only had about 10,000 people at our tree lighting. You'll get there. Just follow our example. And our fireworks are shot off the top of City Hall. It's awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a photo of the beautiful Rum River and downtown Anoka. Thank you.
Brian, am I going to have to stop the car and have a little conversation with you? Be nice. That was 10.
We're the big brother.
Yeah, there was 10,000 there. All right. On deck, we have Champlin up right now. We have Mayor Mark Kuzma from the city of Ramsey.
Well, welcome, everyone. I'm Mark Kuzma, and I've got the honor of being the mayor of Ramsey. We're a city that we believe in working together to responsibly grow our community and provide quality and cost-effective government services. One of our top objectives is to strive to work towards financial stability in our city. What this has meant for us last year was to reconsider how we fund our roads. The city's franchise fee was eliminated, and the city's tax capacity rate increased from 39.25% in 2021 to 42.28% in 2022, and primarily because we shifted the funding mechanism from the franchise fee to our property tax levy, which funds our maintenance and our reconstruction of our city streets. Standard & Poor's reaffirmed the city's AA bond rating in 2021, and the city refinanced its municipal center debt in 2021, saving the city over $1 million in debt service payments. Another objective we had at the city is balancing our rural character with our urban growth. And our growth continues, and for as far as rooftops and retail in 2021, we added 168 new single-family homes, 15 units of multi-family housing. Currently, we have 581 businesses that call Ramsey home, and those businesses employ roughly 7,084 people. We added 31,000 square feet of completed retail space, including a multi-tenant retail building, a luxury salon, and an auto parts store. New industrial development continues to flourish, including 132,000 square feet of completed or under construction in 2021, and 258,000 square feet is approved for 2022. And along with development, Ramsey works hard to preserve our rural character and history. Ramsey is a tree city, meaning we have an action plan to care for our native trees and to eliminate the spread of diseases such as emerald ash borer. We value our history, and we previously worked with the U of M students to study the old town hall on Highway 47 to explore a modern day use for a historic place. And today we continue to preserve this building and seek business proposals to use the structure. We are proud to be an active and connected community. In 2021, we made great strides to improve our major transportation corridors, including the US Highway 10, 169 by furthering the Ramsey Gateway project. This project is fully funded as of 2021, of July. And the project will remove the traffic signals from Highway 10, 169 at Sunfish Lake and Ramsey Boulevards and establish bridges over the Sunfish Lake Road and Ramsey Boulevards over the BNSF North Star Commuter Rail Corridor. And construction on this project is proposed to begin in the fall of 2023, with the majority of the work occurring in 2024 and 2025, and final touches being completed in 2026. In 2021, Anoka began preparing for the bypass traffic anticipated to use the Bunker Lake Boulevard during construction of this project by completing the safety and operational improvements to the intersection of Bunker Boulevard and Highway 47. And due to the corridor of Bunker Lake Boulevard between Sunfish Lake Boulevard and Armstrong Boulevard. The city remained focused on maintaining our public streets by reconstructing over 2.2 miles of streets and overlaying more than 5 miles of streets. Last year, MnDOT further studied a future river crossing between the cities of Ramsey and Dayton, and the city will continue to explore this vital connection. Aside from these improvements, it's our priority and intention to foster social connections through recreational opportunities. We're proud to access our natural resources, especially our lakes and our rivers, through canoe and kayak rentals. Ramsey also has a variety of recreational opportunities through our fabulous parks, our park facilities, and our trail access. We also connect residents to the natural world through gardening, pollinator protection, and recreational programming like bird watching, snowshoeing, art, concerts in the park, and so much more. At Ramsey, we also strive to be a smart citizen-focused government. So what does it look like for us? In Ramsey, this means prioritizing citizen safety. Ramsey's Fire Department was awarded the Minnesota Fire Department of the Year by the Minnesota Fire Department Association. The men and women of the Ramsey Fire Department deserve this award for being leaders in their communities, for diligently holding up their mission to protect life and property, and for leaving a legacy of respect and kindness. Our police and fire departments continue to see an increase in calls, and our police department responded to 16,258 calls, and our fire department responded to 1,301 calls for a service, a record high for both departments. What types of crimes are we seeing in Ramsey? Well, we're fortunate to have a low crime rate, with the most significant crime being property crimes or theft. Our fire department mostly responds to medical calls. Both departments respond higher daytime call numbers, which they suspect is due to the pandemic with more people working from home. We were able to obtain 2 new vehicles for our public safety departments. One is a mine-resistant ambush MRAP vehicle used to protect officers in public high-risk situations. The other is the new fire engine for our fire department. This vehicle replaces a 1999 model. In 2021, we hired 2 new full-time police officers and 1 support staff to assist with increased workload and to keep our response times low. Our fire department recently added a duty crew, which includes a show to decrease response times, providing a more efficient service to our residents. After 18 years of team individuals in our police department resigned our police patch, the new design reflects the changes in both of our department and our community we serve. Both departments are very involved in citizen engagement, and throughout the year, their participation in Happy Days Citizens Academy, annual trick-or-treating event, Coffee with the Cop, trainings and tours, demonstration of vehicles and equipment, and much, much more. And finally, and importantly, we believe in operating with an effective organization. One of the major steps we took in Ramsey to improve our efficiency was the construction of the new 15,093,000 square foot Public Works facility. This new building houses all 3 divisions of our Public Works Department, which will improve communications and efficiency of our department. The building now has ample workspace for each member of the team and has designated work areas for each division to complete its daily tasks. The facility features a conference room and a training space that doubles as the department's lunchroom. The garage serves as a central storage and meeting area, generally reducing the team's drive time. Previously, the garage also enables the Public Works team to better care for the city vehicles and equipment, prolonging the life of our public assets. Our Public Works Superintendent, Grant Reamer, is in the audience today, so if you have any further questions or are interested in taking a tour of the new facility, Grant would be happy to talk to you. Lastly, we improved our efficiency by hiring a few new positions at the city of Ramsey. In 2022, as part of the budgeting process, my colleagues on the city council and I approved a part-time receptionist position, a full-time parks maintenance worker, a full-time system and security analyst in the IT department. It's been an excellent year of growth and progress for the city of Ramsey. And as mayor, I want to thank my staff and my fellow council members for working together responsibly to grow our community and to provide quality, cost-effective government services and making Ramsey a great place to live, work, and play. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Kuzma. On deck, we have our presentation on the Chamber Manufacturing Cohort. But from the city standpoint, last but not least, my city, City of Champlin, to give the presentation, Mayor Ryan Karasik.
Thank you very much, and thank you very much for the opportunity. I just want to quick thank Anoka Area Chamber of Commerce for this opportunity, for QCTV for recording this and sharing it with everybody here today. This is obviously a great opportunity to share all that we have going on in the city, and I get excited every single year of coming here and be able to see it, like all the stuff that's going on in the community. And I like to, nudge over to Brett and like, hey, that's something that's really cool. We got to take care of that, and we got to do that in our city. It's really fun to see, and I'm glad to be here. We've got a lot going on in our city. Probably the biggest thing that we have going on in the city right now is our redevelopment of our riverfront. This has been a 20-year plan and a vision from people going all the way back to Steve Boynton back in 1998, and councils ever since then have carried that vision forward and made that vision a reality. Fortunately, this particular council, along with the council member Sabis, who is here today, Nate Truesdale, Jessica Tesdall, and Tom Moe, we are on the precipice of making this dream a reality in our community. And starting it off, we're obviously extremely grateful for the developer Greco. I'll back that one up for a second. The developer Greco from partnering with the community to make this happen. I'm going to jump into that in just a second here, but one of the things that we have going in our community is we ended up getting $3.5 million in bonding money a couple years ago to redevelop and to engage and activate our riverfront. We have an opportunity in Champlin that's very unique, where we can actually do something on our riverfront and bring the community and bring the region to it. And the big thing that we have is our event center that we have on the river, outdoor performing area, and along with that too, coming up soon, I'm understanding that here in March we're going to be making some decisions on a restaurant on a riverfront as well. The views and everything are going to be incredible. We installed our boat dock system on the riverfront for all the people who live on the river. Are really excited to utilize that docking system. Your boat club also utilizing that, and a little bit down further on the river. But this is going to be an opportunity for people to come to our riverfront in Champlin and take advantage of everything that we have to offer. Kind of another view right now. I've talked to Pete about this a number of times. I said every single year I come up here, it's been 5-6 years now coming up here and talking about, I can't wait till we can actually have this event here on our riverfront in our event center. I thought about putting together a little video and standing in there and presenting this presentation from inside the event center. Clearly it would be a lot colder today than I would like. But you get an idea. This isn't just a dream or a vision. This is a reality that's actually coming out of the ground right now. And it's going to be something very, very special for our community. Back up here. Like I mentioned, Greco. Josh Branstead with Greco has been a phenomenal partner with the City of Champlin on being the lead on developing this entire area. One of the projects that they have is the bow line. If you drive down Highway 169 right now, you can see the bow line, and it turned out to be, it's a market rate apartment building, and it turned out to be an incredible building. It's got a huge gym area, a workout area. There's a theater with reclining seats to watch a football game or a basketball game or whatever you want to have. And you can notice on the top up here too, there is an outdoor dining area that residents of Bowline or others can save that space, and you can have views overlooking the entire river and downtown Minneapolis from that location. It is absolutely priceless. And this building right now, I just checked this morning with the folks there at the Bowline, and they are 70% leased out. They opened it up for leasing on December 27th, and as of now, they're 70% leased out. They have 40% occupancy, 70% leased out. The other wing of the building will be opened up here in just a few weeks. Another development that we have going on in Champlin is the Oaks at Bauer Farm, the former Bauer Berry Farm. That is a 99-home, single-family home development. 49 of those lots are with Jonathan Homes, and the other 50 lots are with D.R. Horton. And as of yesterday, my understanding is that 43 of the Jonathan Home lots are already sold, and they just started moving people into the first homes a week ago. They have 27 foundations in before anybody even had moved into a single home, and they're sold out. The average sale price right now, I believe, exceeds over $800,000 a home for the Jonathan Home side. D.R. Horton side, they just started building models now and over the last few weeks, and they're going to be opening up come this spring parade. So it's an exciting project. We also have some new development here in the city of Champlin, some redevelopment. One thing that we have that we're very proud of is our Elm Creek Brewing. They took over the old Ruby Tuesday building and took it and ran with it. They came in at a time that was almost impossible for a business to succeed at the beginning of COVID, and they have been embraced by the community. They have been embraced by the whole area, and it's just a fantastic place, and they're not only succeeding, but they're thriving and they're adding on to it. One other really cool thing that we have, Twin Cities Twisters, is renowned throughout the area. An older building, they're building a new building, and I got to tell you, some people will ask, why would you want to be the mayor? I tell you what, when I can have a photo op with a U.S. Olympian, Grace McCallum, who is absolutely a phenomenal young lady who trains out of Twin Cities Twisters in Champlin, it's an amazing opportunity, and they're going to be building a brand new facility right off of 169 just south of Willie McCoy's. Another thing that we just approved recently that we're really excited and proud of is Riverway Church. Riverway Church for a number of years has done incredible things in our community. They're literally transforming neighborhoods in our community. When you think of a church, you think of something that inspires people to do things and help others. And for all the years that I've known Riverway Church, they do that in our community. They do it in Champlin, they do it in Brooklyn Park, and just this year, the City Council overwhelmingly, excitedly approved a new facility for Riverway Church to be built right on the corner of Highway 169 and 117th, right by Clive's. A couple other new ones, Jersey Mike's, right off of 120th and 169. Phenomenal sandwiches. I'm sure a lot of the communities here have it. I'm there 3 times a week, probably at least. And I walk in and they're like, all right, do you want a 6 today, or you want a 26 today, or a number 8? But they're great people, great business, and we love it. Top Wash just opened up this last few weeks. It's a state-of-the-art facility that they have there to wash cars. I got a car wash, and I got a membership, monthly membership for unlimited car washes, and my kids and I actually joke that, is going in there every single day, acceptable or not? I get kind of embarrassed when I go in there and I see on the screen the last visit was just yesterday. But there's something special to be said about having a clean car all the time. I'm a little OCD. I like to keep things nice and clean. And Herbert's and Gerbert's is another new sandwich place in Champlin that has been fantastic for our community. Proud to say that we're having our 3rd annual trout ice fishing contest this year. We have 500 participants, and we once again sold that out a couple of weeks ago. It's coming up just this Saturday, so if you're interested, you want to come out and check it out. It's a fantastic event, and have an opportunity to see something really unique, the number of golden rainbow trout that we put in there. It's a fun event for the family. A lot of people come out. I'm proud of it. I'm proud of everybody that has made this happen. It was a dream of mine for a number of years, and I'm grateful for everybody in the community for embracing it and making it a reality. All the other events that we have going in the community is something that really makes it special. It's something that, you know, when becoming mayor and even being on the city council, I know that this particular council embraced it, and they wanted to bring the community together to do things within the community. A couple of the big things that we have going on, of course, is Father Hennepin Days, and that is going to be even more exciting as we progress further with the development of our riverfront and the outdoor performing area, the restaurant, our event center. Everything in that area is going to be incredible. We are talking about Christmas in the Crossing, so we're going to be right on your doorstep, Anoka and Coon Rapids, with the Christmas tree, hopefully, in that as well. And Shed Fest has turned out to be a phenomenal event for the community. We turned our old salt shed, or I shouldn't say old salt shed, we turned our salt shed into essentially an auditorium for live bands to come, and I tell you what, thousands of people that we get to that, and it turns out to be an incredible community event for the city. As well as we have the Easter egg hunt, big truck event that we have is a great event, movie in the park, like I said, Shed Fest, Thanksgiving bingo, breakfast with Santa, our holiday light tour we're hoping to have coming soon, and our New Year's Eve Rock the Rink is always a very well attended event at the Champlain Ice Forum. And that is it. I appreciate it, and I got the okay to get a few extra minutes from the boss. So, but I just wanted to say thank you to everybody here again for the opportunity to be here and to serve. It's going to take a second here. The over-under, I'm sure what is the over-under of everybody that says that whether or not I'm going to make it through this without getting too emotional. Former Mayor Steve Boynton told me one time, I was having lunch with him and Councilmember Savis 4 years ago after being elected and as the mayor. And he said to me, the most important part of being mayor is knowing when to quit. And I just want to announce to everybody today that it's been an incredible opportunity. I loved every minute being at these events, being with you all, getting to know everybody, an incredible staff that I have to work with, and council to work with. It's been an amazing opportunity, and I just want to let everybody know that I'm not running for re-election in the next term. They say to do what you love, and I love spending time with my kids, and I want to do what I could to make the community great for my kids, and now I want to do what I can to make myself great for my kids. So anyway, I'm going to get through that for just a second, and I want to thank everybody, all my peers and all the people that I love and care for that's helped me through all of this. It's been incredible. Jerry Cook, and I'm looking at you, serving with you in North Metro Mayors, and I got Jill Brown over here. North Metro Mayors has been incredible for me and incredible for the entire area and the region. They're amazing. All of my colleagues and peers that I've had the opportunity to work with over the years. Pete Tarak with the Anoka Area Chamber of Commerce. You've been a great friend with all the ribbon cuttings and everything. I love seeing your passion, your enthusiasm, and excitement every time we get together and see each other. It's incredible. My city staff, I just want to thank everybody. We have them all here. We have Heather, we have Shelley, Shabani, Scott, Brett Heitkamp, Councilmember Ryan Sabis. You've all been incredible. Our Parks and Rec staff, our Public Works, our police and fire. You know, one of the first slides that I ever had here when I first came here a number of years ago was a bottle with lightning in it. And I said, this council that we have right now is like lightning in a bottle. We're going to do something amazing. We're going to do something great. And I think over all these years, we did something amazing. We did something great in our community. And hopefully those that follow or continue on will continue to do great things for our community. I want to thank all my family and friends for all the support that they've given me for all these years. It's because of them. It makes it worthwhile. And of course, last but not least, I want to thank the residents of Champlin for all their support and all their compassion. What can I say? It's been an incredible opportunity, and I'm amazingly grateful for the opportunity to serve the residents of Champlin. I've said this story once before. I'd gotten done with a council member, a council meeting at around 10 o'clock, and I had to run and get some milk after the council meeting, and I went to Cub Foods at about 10 o'clock at night. And I was walking down the aisle, and I swear there wasn't another person in the building, and there's an older gentleman there with a U.S. Navy, one of those blue U.S. Navy hats on. And he looked at me, and I looked at him, and we kind of exchanged looks and walking down the aisles, and he came up to me and said, "Hey, aren't you the mayor?" And I said, "Yeah, I am." He's like, "I just want you to know I think you're doing a great job." That's why we do it. That's why we all do it, and why we want to serve our community for moments like that. Thanks again. I appreciate it. Best of luck.
When Ryan called me yesterday and told me the news and asked for a little bit more time to be able to do that, it was like, well, absolutely. Ryan, thank you. Thank you for everything that you have done for the community in your time. Brendan and I are 35-plus year residents of the city. So we used to have a cornfield behind our house. The only corn getting grown in Champlin right now is out of somebody's garden out of their house. That town has gone through some incredible changes over the last 35 years, and especially with what you and the council have been doing recently. I am so pumped, and I get to see it every day because I'm coming back and forth. But hats off to you, and honestly, hats off to all of you guys. If you serve, I know. I know it is a thankless job. And for every guy that grabs you at Cub and says, "Hey, you're doing a great job," what you're not telling us is how many of the guys, Jerry's smiling, are out there going, "Hey, I didn't like that or this." We get it at the chamber. It's part of the gig, and that's fine. But what you all do, trust me, there's nobody serving on a city council doing it for the money. You know, you don't get paid enough. But anyway, Ryan, thank you. When you and I talked, I said, hey, it's simple. Family's first. And family is first before city, before anything else. So good for you for taking that step, because before you know it, they're gone. And I am in that mode, so I know what I'm talking about. All right, last but not least, John, I'm cutting into your time. You got 10 minutes. Can you do it? Yeah. Sure, yeah, I can. I was recently at a City of Ramsey networking event, and Sean Sullivan from staff did an open, and he talked about the fact that over 30% of the residents of the City of Ramsey work in the manufacturing industry. That blew me away when I heard that number. We've known how important manufacturing is to this region. Where is Mike Scholl? Right there. So Mike Scholl, raise your hand. Mike is former chair of the board of directors, and this goes back, what, 15, are we 20 years? This was darker. Anyway, Mike is a banker, Northeast Bank. Mike approached some of his clients, manufacturers, and said, hey, by the way, I'm about to become chair of the board of directors of the Anoka Area Chamber of Commerce. Said, you know, talk to me. What do you think of the chamber? And some were very nice and said, well, you know, they're nice. And others didn't nail us so much, but they also weren't members. And so Mike started a discussion on the board level to talk about what we were doing for manufacturers. And this is what we were doing. Every month in October, there'd be manufacturing week, and we would print the article that I got from the state of Minnesota, or the Minnesota Chamber of Commerce, about how great manufacturers are and how much they offer to area. And then we tour a facility and we get done with that and we slapped ourselves in the back and said, we nailed it. We weren't doing boo. So what we did is we pulled in the manufacturers over 3 luncheons, offered them free lunch, and said, talk to us. And we just said it, look, we know we're not getting the job done for you. What can we do? And so from that, led by Mike Scholl and that board of directors, we started what eventually became the Anoka Area Chamber of Commerce Manufacturing Cohort. This is a group by them, for them. We have great supporting trusted partners. City of Ramsey is one of those, City of Anoka is one of those, and others. But I want you to find out what that group's been up to. Trust me, we've been hearing workforce issues long before workforce issues were workforce issues. And we've been hearing it from the manufacturing piece. John is our director of manufacturing, so we pay him to do the job. So now you got 7 minutes left, John.
Peter, thank you. Appreciate the opportunity. This is as much about an update as it is about an invitation. And, you know, to Peter's point, for stealing the thunder a little bit around this, Mike Scholl, I just, you know, honestly, it's vision. And that's what this is about. You know, the stories we're hearing from the cities today and everything you were doing, that's vision. And we appreciate you bringing that forward. The Chamber sees that as well. This whole story is around having a vision around how we are going to connect to a segment of our population, our workforce, our employment base, and how we're going to strengthen that in a manner that will allow for our communities to grow and support each other kind of organically from the inside. And again, this is just a great opportunity. So, you know, to share the story, I mean, 30% of the workforce that's in the city of Ramsey is in manufacturing. That's an incredible number. The corridor itself, just sort of along the Highway 10 corridor in the county, is very highly concentrated in manufacturing, and that is, it's represented broadly across that density is represented broadly in manufacturing. So it's a hotbed for manufacturing. Across 11 segments of employment, 20% of all of the employment in that area off these 11 segments is in manufacturing alone, and that's a crazy number. There's a huge number around how much wages are in there too, and so across those 11 segments, wages annually across those is about $50,000 annually, which is a reasonable wage to, you know, basically have a life and do something with what you're doing. But in manufacturing, if we pull out the average wage in manufacturing, it's almost $80,000. And so there's a huge opportunity when you are in the manufacturing segment to really have that house in the community where you grew up, the job that's close to your home, get the really cool truck, you know, and then do it with, you know, again, the comfort of living in the area that you grew up in. So these just are super opportunity. And we know that the work we're doing with the manufacturing cohort is going to support broadly across all of the economic development. Early on in the manufacturing cohort work that we were doing, we came up with a mission statement. And I just want to share this mission for us. Again, we talked about it being for manufacturing, by manufacturing, with the focus on how we move forward. We want to become this catalyst for strengthening community manufacturing by accelerating a transformation into a more efficient and powerful engine of innovation, job creation, and economic growth. And seriously, that's what we're doing. And so the rest of this is the invitation for more of our manufacturers and for more of our cities and more of our businesses to connect to this activity and let us be part of what you're experiencing, because we are making a difference. We're moving the chains around what we think this looks like and how to build a stronger manufacturing base. And it's about jobs, and it's about your lifestyles. And so we're thrilled to do that. Now, honestly, from the beginning, we have all kinds of stories. We thought that this was going to be about China, and it was going to be about healthcare. And we were convinced that we would be one and done, that meeting would end and we wouldn't move on. That board of directors asked us to continue the mission and continue to look at it. We see it now as workforce acquisition. What are the next people that are coming through the pipelines that are going to be our employees? Then we see it as workforce incumbent training. The current employees that we have, what are we doing to make them better, to give them the skills that they need to grow in their careers and continue to build our businesses? And then the last one is continuous improvement. And what are the things that need to happen internally with our manufacturers and our companies that will allow us to be stronger? So those 3 buckets, we know that we can have a voice and that we can talk as a chamber about bringing resources forward that help support all 3 of those things. That's the work that we're doing. We also thought about manufacturers as being these more like regional, national, global people that don't have a connection or a real interest in doing something in the community, and we found that to be completely false. We know that these manufacturers rely on the communities that they're in, all of the cities they are, and the efforts that are happening in the cities in order for them to be viable. That's why we're excited to be part of the city of Anoka and the city of Ramsey as one of our trusted partners. We invite you to consider that as well, because we act as an extension of your business expansion and retention efforts, and we think that's a really cool place for us to live. We talk about the packing peanuts story. This is a common one that came out of this whole adventure. And we get the cohort together and we all start talking to each other about what's going on. And all of a sudden we have one member of our manufacturing group that says, oh my gosh, I have to buy packing peanuts from Cincinnati and it takes like 2 weeks to get here. And it's the craziest thing. And then another manufacturer says, hey, I'm paying somebody to haul packing peanuts out of here. And all of a sudden, the 2 are married together, and we create an opportunity to solve a problem that we wouldn't have been able to do if we weren't together. The packing peanut story happens all the time, and it's consistent throughout the stories that I tell around how effective this is and how fun it is, for sure. A little bit about some of the stuff we did over the last year. Again, with COVID, it was a challenge, but we took what we could, and we moved with where we could. It's for manufacturing, by manufacturing. You talk to us about workforce. We know that that's the issue right now, like everybody. We're all struggling with it, so we're doing what we can to build the pipeline up for workforce. We spent quite a bit of effort this year talking about different underrepresented members of our community that are underemployed that could be in manufacturing. So we spent a lot of time bringing these subgroups of folks toward manufacturing so they can understand that there is a life here beyond just having 3 or 4 jobs and trying to make things meet together financially. So we were excited to be part of things like that. We were a big part of the Toys for Joy event again this year. One of our manufacturers, Steinwell, hosted that event for the 2nd year, so that was a super huge win. It was fun for us to be part of that. I served on the planning board for the Minnesota Manufacturers Technical Education Conference, which is coming up. I'm super excited to be part of that. I was also asked to serve on a new program task force at Anoka Technical College, and that's helping us bring curriculum forward that supports manufacturing. That's a lovely place for us to be. And finally, I continue to interact with Anoka Hennepin School District and working with them on their STEAM curriculum to align the correct educational processes that build the workforce that's coming out of secondary education and getting ready to be employed locally in the manufacturers that we have. So those are 3 kind of 4 things that happened. But the big one that we did was this was the first year that we actually took a look at writing a grant. And one of the Department of Labor grants that's out there is called the Minnesota Dual Training Pipeline Grant. And traditionally, manufacturers write that grant for themselves. If they're awarded it, they take that grant money and they work with a training partner to educate their teams on higher levels of manufacturing, so advanced manufacturing. What we did is we realized that there is possibly a gap or some barriers around having an individual employer write one of those things. It's very complicated to write, it's hard to win, and then it's incredibly difficult to administrate because there's a lot of hoops you have to jump through. We decided that we were going to write it in a cohort fashion, and so in February of last year, I started to go through the narrative around submitting the grant, and we were awarded a $120,000 grant to train up to 20 incumbent workers in our community from manufacturing. And it's been an exciting adventure. We've learned a lot, but what we have really done with this thing is we've moved the chains. We've taken all of the pressure away from the manufacturer. We've put their employees in front of advanced training that allows for them to get the skill sets that can move them along their careers, and it's actually happening right now. And it's just been super exciting. It's been fun to be part of. We're actually looking at another grant next year, and what we want to do there is a continuation of the program and possibly even write a 2nd or a 3rd grant to backfill on some of the other training needs that are necessary out there. But again, this is part of what is happening right now with your manufacturing cohort. This is a program that is not being duplicated anywhere in the country. We actually wanted to steal it. We wanted to do your ROI thing, but couldn't find it. And so we've been building it from the ground up, and it has been really exciting. It's probably in its 10th or 12th year, and we continue to look at it from the perspective that this is for manufacturing, it's by manufacturing, and it fits perfectly within the mission of the Chamber. So guys, the invitation is reach out to us, talk to us about how we can help your cities do what you need to do to solve your workforce problems or support your manufacturers. It's all about maybe even, again, family, because we're all one family together, and we know that our communities will be stronger as a result of something like this. And so, again, feel free to reach out. I welcome you to do that, and just want to say thank you very much for the opportunity to be here today.
You're done. Packing peanuts. Both John and I get very excited about packing peanuts. But it's these cool stories. And in fact, this packing peanuts, these businesses were right next to each other and didn't know that that issue was in play. So it's cool. Hey, thank you to all of our presenters, to all of our cities that are here. Thank you to First Bank Elk River and Iceberg Web Design, our luncheon sponsors. Thanks to you for coming here. It's good to see you. It's really good to see you. Chamber Gala Dinner, Friday, February 25th. Hint, hint, tickets are still on sale. If you would like to attend, guarantee you'll have a good time. And if not, I'm paying you back. All right, thank you all for coming.